think that's the thing I thought was so ironic about 2020, because 2020 is vision, was going back into yourself and really reflecting on yourself, because beforehand we were so used to just being around each other and being in close proximity with each other. But with the pandemic, it kind of pushed us away from being around our friends and our family, so we had to resort to learning about self. And with that, a lot of stuff that we either buried within ourselves over the past few years, few months, few days, or even decades, kind of came all at once, and you have this big rebirth of self. So now that we're kind of progressing on, still in the middle of a pandemic, this has given us a new perspective on ourselves as an artist, but as well as what we hope for the future to be. I am Cocoa Rae David. I am the photography artist in residence at Varsity Art Center, and my exhibition is called New Growth. So you can find it on Varsity Art Center's website on their online exhibition page, and you can go down and you'll see a picture of me. It says Cocoa Rae David, that's me. And it's going to be up until the 25th. So it's from the 10th to the 25th. You still have time to go see it. Photography was a medium that just fell into my lap. At the age of like 12, that's when I made the decision to just, kind of mess around with photography. And it was what I love to do, and here I am, like almost 20 years later. I pitched my idea of continuing my portrait series, Pigment. I kept, working at it up until March of 2020, which is when the pandemic ensued and started. So I had to really think about what I want to do with my residency now that everything had kind of changed a bit. So New Growth came about when I took a step back and decided to really evaluate myself as an artist. And so New Growth is like a medley of different works I created in the midst of my 2-year residency. So you have Pigment, you have a little bit of portraiture and studio lighting, you have portraits and stuff outside the studio, film. I shot a lot of 35mm film, which pays homage to my youth, because that's what I started out with when I was growing up, was film. So with that, a lot of it kind of put all my artistic abilities and memories and my hope for the future together, and I decided to call it New Growth, with new N-U instead of N-E-W. For me, it kind of goes back into my roots, especially as a black woman, with slang, but also coming out with another way of looking at the word new. I had to really sit and take back a lot, and it actually started with my cousin. She was the last person I took a photo of for right before the pandemic ensued, and then I didn't take a picture for a minute, and then I took her portrait again at another time. So she really helped break the mold out of it. So she was like, I'm gonna do this, I have this idea. So the next time I took a picture of her was the flower background. She was the one who came up with that idea. This was her 16th birthday, so she's like, this is what I wanna do. I wanna do this and everything. So she helped me get out of my my downward spiral of depression, because I was really going through it. And then when I started taking pictures, I was like, well, digitally, I was like, okay, digital's fun and cool, but I feel like I'm kind of getting, not once I get bored, but I'm like, it's kind of like the same repetitive thing. So I was like, okay, let me do something different. Then I started shooting film. I had this film camera I bought from Varsity. I started doing one of the garage sales. I didn't use it, I didn't touch it or anything. I didn't even have a battery for it. So I got all that stuff. I had some leftover film from when we were doing 678, the film program, and I took my sister's portraits in the studio. So it's like I haven't shot film in the studio since undergrad. So I did that, and after that, it kind of just kept going, So I was like, this was fun, and it really helped me really sit and think so much of how I want the shots to go, versus when you're doing digital, it's like, okay, do this, do this, do this. I had to really slow everything down and really think, and I think that's what I really liked about the pandemic, was the whole fact that everything slowed down and stopped for a second. And then once it got colder, that's when I started doing more portraits of my sister when she was pregnant, because she, we wanted to get her maternity pictures in. Once I started doing her portraits, the interaction with my sister and seeing her in a whole different way definitely brought new life to me. And then her portrait identifier with the mandala like behind her, I just kept thinking about the Virgin Mary. I don't know why she kept giving me that vibe. Ironically, my nephew came home on Christmas Day, so that picture gave me more life. And then after that, I kind of got more involved in more projects and stuff around that time as well. So a lot of the process started to open up more as I started to open up more instead of closing in. It was cool being the teacher as well as being a student here because I learned so much in both positions, you know. And I'm going to encourage anybody who becomes an artist in residence, just take every class you can think of here because you never know when you're going to need those skills. I got closer with the teachers, Mark and Fernando. They both really helped me open my eye when it came to film, both black and white and color film. Mark definitely opened my eyes a lot more and also helped me get back into my roots of doing graphics, because that was what I originally wanted to do. I wanted to be a graphic designer. So, you know, taking the InDesign class helped me. And then being in the dark room, you know, loading, like, you know, taking film out the canister and all that and doing it in the dark was so crazy, but at some point I could do it like it's no problem now. Like, I'm not scared. I actually prefer doing it because it's just so peaceful. And then I've always wanted to learn how to process color film, and that's the one thing I wanted to do when I first got here. I was like, where can I learn how to process it? And a lot of people told me it's very dangerous, you can't do it. But when I found out they were teaching it, I was like, so it isn't that dangerous, you know? So you gotta know what you're doing. And the process of it just gave me more life into wanting to do film even more. I taught classes as well. I taught fashion class, which was really cool. Like, just seeing what they came up with and seeing their mind and their hearts going when you give them the space, safe space, and you give them encouragement, and you just give them time to create. And just all the other students I had, I taught, you know, a studio lighting class, and those students, like, their eyes opening when it comes to just even having the confidence just to touch a strobe, you know. My artist talk is on 17th, this Friday, from 6 to 7. You can definitely sign up on the Flower City Art Center website. Go to the exhibition page and look for my information, and they'll have like a little thing that says, click here, sign up here. Please sign up, because once it's filled up, that's it. What you can expect from both my exhibition as well as my artist talk is new work. Like, because of everything that's happened over these past few years, I haven't really been posting as much. I've been really taking in everything around me. And trust me, I have a lot of stuff and stuff that you haven't even seen yet. So definitely please sign up and come see. You're gonna see some familiar faces, you'll see some new faces, you see some new work, you see some familiar work. Definitely please go to the website, check all my stuff out. Definitely sign up and come see me and my work, and hopefully you see me around.